Ancient artifacts. In March of 1974, a group of peasants were digging a well in northwest China when they found fragments of clay soldiers. They immediately contacted the Chinese government, who sent archaeologists out to the site. This discovery has turned into one of the biggest archaeological discoveries of modern times. Over 8,000 clay soldiers were found. The soldiers were found near the tomb of a man who proclaimed himself as the first emperor of China in 221 BC. This means that these soldiers have likely been underground for more than 2,000 years. Historians believe these soldiers were created to protect the tomb. Possibly the most amazing thing about these soldiers is that they are all very different from each other. From the looks on their faces to the intricate detail on their clothes. Since these clay soldiers are so fragile, a museum was built around the soldiers. You can visit the soldiers today in China, where they remain in the ground where they were found. On November 24th, 1974, two scientists named Donald Johanson and Tom Gray were out surveying fossils in Ethiopia. The scientists first noticed an arm bone sticking out of the ground, and soon had uncovered more than 40 bones of a young female. They decided she was probably 20 years old when she died. The scientists named this young girl Lucy after the Beatles song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Lucy is about 3.2 million years old and was probably about 4 feet tall. She is the oldest known animal to have walked on 2 feet. This is significant because it lends information to the theory that humans once walked on all fours and slowly adapted to be able to walk on 2 feet. Scientists are not positive about how she died, but they theorize that she probably fell out of a tree into a lake or river. Since bones are very fragile, especially 3 million old bones, only replicas of Lucy can be viewed. In 1799, a soldier in Napoleon's army found the Rosetta Stone. Napoleon loved Egypt and wanted to build a fort there. While he and his soldiers were digging, they came upon a large slab of black granite stone, which contained 3 different languages etched into it. The languages found on the stone were hieroglyphic, Greek, and Demotic. Demotic is language that was frequently used in Egypt. Written on the stone was a royal decree of the ancient Egyptian pharaoh. The decree was purposely written in 3 different languages and displayed outside a temple. Written on the stone was information about the economy of corn and vines, and that it would be given to the priests along with other important political information. Time has damaged much of the stone, leaving only pieces of the original engraving. However, this is the largest piece. The Rosetta Stone has been kept in the British Museum since 1802 and can be viewed today. On December 17, 1790, during repairs on the Mexico City Cathedral in Mexico City, the ancient Aztec stone calendar was found. The stone is almost 12 feet in diameter, over 3 feet thick, and weighs 48,000 pounds. When the stone was found, it was mounted on an outside wall of the cathedral and was not moved until 1885. Most scholars think the stone was carved between 1502 and 1521, but some people think it might be older. This sculpture is probably the most well-known Aztec piece. In the middle of the circle is the god of the sun. Though a lot of information can be found about the calendar, there are only theories about its exact meaning and interpretation. Today, the stone can be found in the National Anthropology Museum in Mexico City. Today, the calendar can be found on the backside of the Mexican 20 peso gold coin. Ancient hieroglyphics were one of the hardest of Egyptians' mysteries to uncover. The word means sacred carvings. Hieroglyphics is an ancient Egyptian written language that is made up of small pictures. Hieroglyphs were mainly used for inscriptions carved or painted on temple walls or the sarcophagus of kings and pharaohs. Usually, the pictures stand for different sounds, but they can also be a picture of what they are representing. There are a total of 1,000 distinct characters. Can you imagine having to remember your alphabet if there were 1,000 letters? To make it even more difficult, hieroglyphs are written from right to left and top to bottom, which is backwards from how we read and write today. Hieroglyphs are thought to be the basis of all our writings today.